here we are, we're in full alligator season swing, and we're gonna give it another shot tonight for alligators. Remember, we have Osceola County tags, so we get to go pretty much any legal place that we get to hunt. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about our tools that we're gonna be using tonight. One is a fishing pole. That's right, we're going alligator hunting with a fishing pole. And our bait of choice is a snag hook. This is a 4-ounce snag hook. This is like a 6-aught. It's just a huge snag hook. And basically, the objective of this hook is just to get it over the alligator so we can get it inside. One of our main things is the string that we use. We use braided line. This is a 100-pound braided line. And I know it seems relatively simple, but keep in mind, the world record marlin was reeled in on 4-pound test line, and it was over 1,000 pounds. So it's all in how you work this line, and this pole is how you can get this alligator in. I've reeled in some giant alligators with a fishing pole. Our reel of choice is basically just a Okuma 6000. It's just a big bait cast reel. So we're going to try to take one from the bank tonight. With any luck, we're successful. Now, once we get this thing in and we fight it and we do our thing, hopefully it comes in real nice and smooth. A lot of times an alligator will just roll right in and not really realize that they are hooked and they are moving. So a lot of times you can pull them right in the shore, keep a light in their eyes, and get them right up against the bank. That's my fingers are crossed that's going to happen. Once we get it to that point, then we get to use our trusty 357 bang stick. Basically, here's our barrel. Our bullet slides right into here. We put it right on the bang stick. We screw up our safety, blam, and it is ready to go. So the objective of this thing is let me take this off, is when you hit them, you can see it has a little spring to it. A little bit of spring right there. That's just enough to make the firing mechanism on the inside of this thing go off. So that's going to be our tools of choice. So with any luck, we're going to see them, we're going to cast our line over them, we're going to hook them, we're going to pull them in, hopefully just like the blueprints. And once we get them in, we're going to be about knee deep in the water, and then we'll bang them. That is the theory. That's how it's supposed to work. I've seen it on YouTube. Trust me, it's got to work. So that's how we've been doing it for years. It's that simple. I know most people want to take a bazooka, hand grenades, machetes, samurai swords, and a couple ninjas, but it's really not that hard.
So here we are at one of my favorite ponds. It's loaded with alligators. One of the key things is you want a super bright flashlight. Because remember, alligators are nocturnal and they have large cones in their eyes, and we can see their eyeballs up to a half a mile away.
You get my pole.
One of the tricks I like to use, I have an iPod with baby alligator sounds on it. And what that does is that triggers their natural curiosity and brings them in just a little bit closer to where we can get a hook over.
All right, it's kind of locked up. I'm going to get in the water and splash. See if we can't bring him in a little closer. Residential neighborhood, if this thing's used to people, he'll come. Oh yeah, he's 15 feet away, so we're gonna go dark for a minute. Once we get him, we'll turn the light back on.
The key to going dark is we don't want the light on us, because any sudden movements when we cast for that alligator will scare that thing away. Perception is the key.
Got him on the first shot in the dark. I've done this for about 20 years.
Now, from only seeing an eyeball, it's really hard to tell how large an alligator is. So as you can see in this case, we got a little bitty fella. And lucky for us, he did a little death roll and got away from us.
Yeah, we're at another spot. Tonight we decided we're going to hunt from the banks. This is a little pond that I've seen an 8-footer in several times. He's right there. The problem we have is this hydrilla is so thick. I've got to have a boat to get in here. I could cast probably from here and get over him and probably hook him. But I'm not sure we want to beat our way through that grass with a big alligator in there. So he's right there. Oh yeah. We're gonna go dark and hopefully time this light comes back on. We got it. That LED, I just looked right in it, bro. I can't even see it. You know what I see? About 100 little white dots. Yeah, we got a big gator. He don't know he's hooked. The minute he does, he's gonna blast out. I've got him, but he's under 1,000 pounds of mud. See his eyes right there? That's him right there. He's swimming. He's just in this patch of mud. He's slowly crawling over. Got a pissed off 200-pound alligator. I can get all that back. Stay tuned. Good thing is we got a big gator on. Bad thing is he's under a bunch of mud and grass. We got to go in and get him. Not liking that at all, but it's got to happen. So.
The fact that he's under all that mud and grass is a disadvantage for us because now we have a ton of mud and grass on our fishing line. The fishing line tells us that he is hooked and we can see it going in the water, but it doesn't tell us where the gator is. So we have to remove the mud and grass very slow and very methodical for a couple reasons. One is we don't want the alligator to swim farther under the mud and grass, and we don't want to accidentally grab the alligator by the face. So now at this point, we are in the alligator's environment. And while we are focused on our alligator that we have on the line, we're not totally sure that another alligator is not focused on us. The biggest danger at this point, I don't know if this alligator is 20 feet away or 1 foot away. And will the next patch of grass I grab actually be the alligator?
Let's get an alligator.
The light from the camera allows me to see everything around me, but it also allows the alligator to see me, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that. So I'm going to have Mike kill the lights, so I have the advantage.
Okay, what do you mean do?
I gotta find out where his head is at.
So once the lights went out, I looked at Mike and I said, I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is we still have an alligator on the line. The bad news is I gotta have you come in and hold the pole for me while I finish cleaning the debris off the line. The problem is I had a ton of debris on 50 to 70 feet worth of fishing line that absolutely had to come off in order to pull this alligator to shallow land.
Could take off, brother. Just mad. Good. Right. I sure would like to see where his freaking head's at. Oh, I see it.
Want to get him?
Yeah, I see. Hold on.
Now that we have this alligator in shallow water, the game of hide and seek is completely over. It adds a whole new set of challenges. One is I have to find the business end of this alligator and grab the opposite end. I've got to get a hold of his tail.
Banger. Hold it. There she is. Let her back up. I need her face in the mud at this point. Wrapped up in a blanket. Already in a blanket.
Tell me if you need me to put the camera down and help do anything.
That's what I want right there. That's what I need her in that mud. Get her head up.
Yeah.
By this time of the night, it's super clear that both the gator and I know exactly what's going on. And after 2 hours of this game, we are both absolutely exhausted. And it's time for me to dig deep and focus, because now is not the time to make mistakes.
Grab that.
Although this water is only 12 inches deep, it's super murky, and I still don't know where in the world I've hooked this alligator. And when it goes under, it completely disappears. So pulling that line gently and softly will allow me not to unhook this alligator after we fought so hard to keep it. I have to get that head underwater because we're about to incorporate the bang stick. There's a couple reasons I want his head underwater. One is when we fire this bang stick off, us standing in shallow water, shrapnel flies everywhere. The second is it keeps it nice and quiet because it is super loud to fire off a .357 in the wide open air. Once I fired that first shot, I thought for sure this was a done deal. .357 usually ends it, but when I saw that head pop back up, I knew I had made a bad shot on this thing. So the trick is to being able to reload my bang stick without this alligator getting away. Hanging onto it with one hand and having to reload the other is almost impossible. This is where I always thank myself for putting one bullet in each pocket. It's a little strategy I have, and I almost can't go wrong because no matter what pocket I reach into, I've got an extra bullet.
7-footer. We'll take it. That's hard work. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tape up the mouth, rest, high fives, hugs. It's been a long time since I've had to do that. So yeah, bitch. Alright. Here's the fun part. Make sure you don't move this guy without a tag. That's the part that'll get you in trouble. Put him right here. Ah!
Yeah, that was my hindquarters right there.
I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, you don't like that.
Hold on, let me get some tape.
Yeah, we forgot about the tape in the mouth part. Yeah, let's do that.
Here's the fun part. Make sure you don't move this guy without a tag. That's the part that'll get you in trouble. Make sure that thing is snapped. Voila. Legal alligator. We'll get in trouble without that tag.
An estimated 1.3 million alligators live in the state of Florida. And as Florida's population has exploded to nearly 19 million people, the need for conservation has become critical. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is dedicated to maintaining the balance of Florida's alligator population in accordance with their mission statement, managing fish and wildlife resources for their long-term well-being and the benefit of people. It's because of those efforts of the FWC that we get to do what we do. Every single chapter of my life has been filled with the memories of being outside. From holding my first turtle as a boy to killing my first giant alligator as an adult, the thrill has absolutely remained the same. A gator hunt makes you a vulnerable guest in their environment. It's overcoming real fear and raw emotion to conquer one of Florida's most dangerous species. Every single encounter is a unique, unpredictable, and adrenaline-filled story that you'll tell for the rest of your life. This I promise. You know, no one ever tells a story of how something awesome happened when they were sitting in front of their TV. But something amazing always happens outdoors, whether you're there to see it or not. So my goal is to be outside when the awesome happens.